Hi everyone, Bandanner here. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a video all about Men of War 2. I hope you're all doing well and I hope you've had a good week. I am currently melting because it is really warm in the UK, and in this room I get the afternoon sun blaring out the window behind me and heating up the room, along with me playing games and recording stuff all day, which gets the computer very hot, and I am now wishing I had an air conditioning unit, and in the UK that is a relatively rare thing to have. I did have one when I was in Germany. So this evening is an embargo drop for Men of War 2, and I wanted to share my thoughts about the single player with everyone. The multiplayer, however, I've not really been able to try. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, playing the multiplayer when it's just a few people who have review access, organising times and things like that to play it properly, to the point I'd be satisfied that I've, tested it to give it a review score, just hasn't been possible. I mean, getting a 5v5 going, just not going to happen, right? So what I wanted to do was basically just talk about the single player today and do a full review after the release to the public so I can properly test out the multiplayer. Men of War 2 is obviously an eagerly anticipated sequel to the original Men of War Assault Squad, and the Vietnam one that no one talks about. Oh, and Assault Squad 2, of course. Now, I've gone through a few different iterations of this video and wasted a lot of time today, but basically what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the single player and then show you the in-game menu, because showing you the actual options for the various campaigns and things, the only way to do it is to show you in the game, because it's so extensive and there's so much to it. The great news is, if you're a single player fan for these type of games, and that's why you pick them up, there is an extensive amount of single player content, more than I ever imagined there would be. Multiple different types of campaigns, and obviously the skirmish. The main story campaigns can be played in multiplayer as well. Each individual mission can be selected to be played with up to 4 other people, for 5 players against the AI in total. And then there are other campaign options which you have research unlocks and stuff. Those are single player only, but as I say, it makes it really extensive, the amount of single player content. Missions come in a variety, from aggressive attacks to defending to also stealth based missions where you only have a few units for the entire thing. So there's plenty of variation, and for each individual mission you can change the difficulty settings. So if you are struggling with one of those stealthy missions, then you can just turn it right down to easy. The mission that's currently been running in the background is one of those stealth missions where I was doing really well till right near the end, and then I fluffed it, losing everything to the mortar. Never mind, it is what it is. Let's hop into the game now and let me show you the different options in the menu. Okay, so welcome to the in-game menu. I'm just going to whiz through the campaign stuff, and I'll quickly show you the multiplayer options just so you can have an idea of what's there as well for those who are in it for the multiplayer. So first you have the story campaigns. There is one for the USSR, the Americans, and the Germans. If I click on the USSR one, you can see they are made up of 6 missions each. You follow a single person through the campaigns. They're all voice acted if you're listening to the story, and as you play through them, you will have different units and different objectives, and it's all scripted. And these are the ones you can play in multiplayer. You click on multiplayer, you click a lobby, you select mission rather than anything else, and then you will get the title of the mission in a drop down, and you can play through them with up to 4 other people, so 5 players in total against the AI. That's the story ones. Then you have the historical large-scale operations. So these are for the USSR and the Americans, a chain set of missions. If I click on it here, you can see 7 missions, and these are supposedly following a particular set of operations in real life. I don't know how historically accurate they are, but basically this one is based on the Normandy offensive in 1944. You get technology unlocks here, but they are limited to technology that I think would have been available to those operations, is the idea. But every time you finish one of the missions, you will get unlock points, these stars, and also money to buy new units to add to your divisions, or battalions as they're called here. Basically your card decks. For the first mission here, Before the Storm, which was the one I was showing a little bit earlier, you get a predefined set of units and you can't change that. You just get what you get. That's because it's a stealth mission. But I think when you get further beyond that, you'll get to jiggle things around a bit. The American ones here are 6 bonus missions that are individual and have no technology unlocks, but obviously it's just a little bit extra that's available to play. Then you have this, which is quite fun. This is the Conquest, so you fight on a strategic map. Let me click the West German one because I started this. So basically you start at the top with the HQ, and the idea is you get all the way down to the bottom at the enemy HQ, and there's lots of stuff to go through, lots of battles to be had here. The idea is you can drag your battalions forward and attack with them. You'll get the choice when you then click on what you're attacking between the battalions that you've dragged forward, and the other ones are kept in reserve, or effectively they're in another mission. The reason I would always leave one behind is because after you attack your turn, the enemy get a turn as well and can counterattack. So if I was to move all of my battalions down here, the enemy could swoop up from this village and attack me and take St. Lo back, and then I would be in a bit of a mess. So it's worth keeping something behind. Unlike the historically accurate ones, quote unquote, these get access to the full technology tree and all of the special unit unlocks. Those are the purple cards that you can see down here. And as you complete each mission here, or each town, or each... I think it is each mission basically, because you will attack and then defend. You will get unlock research points and also cash. How the cash works is, if I click on this and then do the attack and then select my tank division, I can edit the regiment and I can put in any units I want here. You'll see that some of them are limited, the slots, to sort of infantry or infantry fighting vehicles. Then you'll have slots that are limited to tanks or mobile artillery. You'll also have things like mortar and other artillery here. I've got another tank slot there, and then at the end here I've got a supporting slot which can be crews, sappers, gunners, engineers, fuel trucks, supply trucks, or even, you know, calling in various aircraft and strikes and things like that. And this is a mine hunter, so, you know, if you're wanting to push through a load of mines, loads of options for kitting out your divisions here. And I think you might get access to more as you pass through it as well. But can you imagine how many hours of gameplay there is just getting through this to that HQ? Because you're going to have so much to defend and attack. And you've got the Eastern Front for the USSR and Germany, and then the Western Front for the USA and also for Germany. So there's, you know, a lot to play through here. And there's still more. There's Raid as well. So these are fast, advance, and fighting sets of missions. And you get 16 missions per, but these ones are unique because, again, you get technology unlocks, but you go through these missions, and once you've finished it, you can reset it. So if I hit restart and reset the progress, it will generate an entire new set of missions that I can then play through. This is like an advanced skirmish mode where you get the technology unlocks and everything. Obviously, you can choose and edit your regiments and stuff. So as you can see, the single player options are really extensive, and you can just have a multiplayer PvE mode or set up your own skirmish that way by making a lobby that's private and play against the AI. If I click on multiplayer just to show you, matchmaking comes in PvP battalions, which are where you select a battalion and you can edit it, and it'll be a tank battalion or whatever else. I can click on it and you can have a look. So there's lots of battalions, and then you can unlock even more as you play through for each of the factions. Then you got PvE battalions, which is the same again. You can choose your battalions, and the host can choose what the AI get, or if it's just a randomly generated one, I assume the AI selects that. Then you get PvP Classic, which is where you choose one of the factions and you get access to all the units. That's what Classic means. You get access to everything. You can also choose your team size down at the bottom. And then you've got PvP Combined Arms, which is where you get access to everything, but you need to build your regiment because you have some limitations. You kind of have to put together the regiment you want. And then you can make a lobby and have your own custom rules and stuff. So the single player stuff is massively extensive. I genuinely believe there is easily the £37.99 cost for the game in the single player if that's what you're into. And then the multiplayer is a bonus on top of that. But I genuinely didn't expect it to be so much single player stuff to play through. A lot of it's going to be based around skirmish maps for the single player, but at the end of the day, you do have the scripted stuff at the top there. You've got the large-scale operations, which are all scripted and voiced as well, by the way. So you've got two big sets of stuff there. The conquest is obviously nice, so it's back and forth between you and the enemy. And the other nice thing is, as I said before, you can keep changing the difficulty of these missions to suit you. If you're having an easy time, ramp up the difficulty. If it gets too hard, slow it back down. So I'm very impressed with the single player stuff. I will put up videos of me playing through the campaigns and stuff over on the RTS Cast and Stuff channel, and we'll try and play some stuff over the weekend and next week on stream as well. So thank you very much for joining me tonight, everyone. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you all soon.